Hey, good morning, everybody. It is now, what is it, 12:51 Pacific time as you're watching this on Saturday morning. And I am on the journey of going over my favorite part of my week, frankly, when I really get to talk about one of my favorite books, and that is the book by Agmandino, the greatest salesperson in the world. So we've been going through it. We talked about the 12 scrolls a few days ago, and then we talked about the first scroll, Today I Begin a New Life. And then we drilled it down yesterday. We went through step by step of that. So today, what I want to make sure is that we go through the rest of it and we talk about, again, today, 2020, what is it, October 17th, 2020, as you're watching this. What are the characteristics of that ancient book and how do they apply today, which I think is the big deal, right? I mean, so many of us say, well, yeah, that's old school. Well, no, it's not. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to take a few minutes today to do that. And then we'll come back with you on Monday and we'll rock and roll with the second scroll. So let's talk about the scrolls and where we are right now with it. We read up to this point yesterday in the scrolls. And by the way, if you get to the point where you think, Bart, I really want those scrolls, hit me up, send me your email, send it to me at bart@bartnollenberger.com, and I will send you the 10 scrolls, and you can follow along with this. You can do what Agmandino said. You can do what the greatest salesperson in the world said so that you can start changing your thinking. But here we are. Back to this, back to today's. I will form good habits and become their slave. So you and I get that we are habitual creatures. As a matter of fact, on a daily basis, 85% of our activities are habits. And unfortunately, about 50% of those, depending on who you are bad habits. So you and I, how do we overcome a bad habit? Form a new habit. And that's what the author's talking about right here. Let me read this part. And how will I accomplish that difficult feat? Through these scrolls. See, these scrolls give you new information, new ways, new habits. For each scroll contains a principle which will drive a bad habit away from my life. In other words, you are what you think. You're also what you feed yourself mentally. So when you're feeding yourself different habits, you're going to have different results. Now, I know this stuff because I, once upon a time, a long time ago, was a drug addict. I'm not that way anymore. I've got 35 years of sobriety. How'd I do it? I replaced the old habit with new habits. And that's what this is all about. So like it says, for it is of nature's greatest laws that only a habit can subdue another habit. One habit replaces another. So in order for these written words to perform their chosen task, I've got to discipline myself. Discipline being the capital D, capital word all the way through. Discipline. The successful people and the unsuccessful people, the only difference is discipline. Discipline and commitment. Discipline, commitment, consistency. I love that. So if you're disciplined, you're committed, and you're consistent, it might not happen as soon as you want it. We read that yesterday, that the olive tree takes years to be established, but the onion trees mature in weeks. You and I are olive trees. It takes years for habits to be established, for success to be established. And so many people quit because they think it's an app, that success is an app. It is not an app. You can go on an app and get success stories, but if you're not going to execute day after day after day, you're not going to get from here to there. So that's why the author says, I will read each scroll for 30 days in this prescribed manner. Now, is a new habit formed in 30 days? Depends on who you talk to. Some people say it's 21 days. Some people say it's 72 days. But in this, what the author's saying is do the same thing over and over and over for 30 days, and you'll start getting a new habit. As you may or may not know, I'm a member of the John Maxwell team. And as a member of the John Maxwell team, one of my mentors is the former president of the John Maxwell team, a gentleman by the name of Paul Martinelli. Paul Martinelli is a high school dropout that actually built 5 multi-million-dollar businesses. He happens to be my own personal coach. And Martinelli, when we first started off, told us on the book, Think and Grow Rich, he said, I want you, before we even start the study, I want you to read the chapter on persistence. And that chapter, by the way, if you're a sales manager watching this, is a great chapter for a sales meeting, getting everybody to read the chapter on persistence. Maybe sometime we'll read that together. But in that chapter, he said, I want you to read it for 14 days straight. If you happen to do 2 days and then all of a sudden you have to miss a day, start again. You're starting on day one. Took me like 2.5 months, frankly, to be honest with you, to get through 14 days. But the reality was I knew that's what I had to do. I wasn't going to get a new habit until I got committed and consistent and did that discipline. All right. So the first thing the author tells you is when you get up to read the scroll in silence when you get up. Then right after lunch, read it again. Now, put it on your phone, man. Just say, for example, I go out in my front yard and my backyard, excuse me, and I hang out with God in the morning. I have about an hour with God. What I made the decision I'm doing here because of you guys is I'm going to read those scrolls every morning. I'm going to start over myself and do it. Now, I'm going to start with this scroll first because today I begin a new life is the scroll and the new habits or the scroll I want to get embedded. And then after I'm done in 30 days, I'll go into the next one. So, man, this is so powerful. Part of me, though, likes new and exciting. So what happens to me is I want to get onto that next scroll. Well, it's okay once a week to read through the 10 scrolls, but in terms of reading them 3 times a day, stay with number 1. After 30 days, go to number 2. Let's read. Then I will read the words in silence after I partake of my midday meal. Last, I will read the words again just before I retire at day's end. And most important, I will read them aloud. If you get tired at night, read it earlier than later. On the next day, I will do this again. Then I will repeat the whole procedure for 30 days. Develop a new habit. And what will be accomplished with this habit? Herein lies the hidden secret of all person's accomplishments. As I repeat the words daily, they soon become part of my active mind, the conscious. But more important, they start to seep into that other mind, that mysterious source, which never sleeps, the other than conscious mind. And this other than conscious mind, our thoughts come from here. It seeps into our other than conscious mind, which is the emotional mind. The emotional mind, then from what you feed yourself, it goes to the emotional mind, your beliefs, your unconscious, your other than conscious mind guides your behaviors. Your behaviors, if you don't like your behaviors, it's because for years you've fed your unconscious mind with with thoughts. And now you and I have to change those thoughts. It deeps into our other than conscious. Our other than conscious is that emotional belief piece of our mind that starts going into actions, which lead to results. Your results are a result of your thoughts. Your thoughts goes into your subconscious. Subconscious is, again, your beliefs and your emotions. It then triggers your actions and then your results. As the words of these scrolls are consumed by my mysterious mind, I will begin to awake each morning with a vitality I've never known before. You're going to be jacked because you've got a vision. You're feeding it. And your other than conscious is taking you to that other than conscious behavior, good habits. Your vigor will increase. That's your energy. My enthusiasm will rise. My desire to meet the world will overcome every fear I once knew at sunrise. Keep doing it over and over. You're going to be blown away at how it transforms you. Eventually, next paragraph, I will find myself reacting to all situations which confront me as I was commanded in the scrolls to react because of what we feed it. You are what you eat. You are what you think. And soon these actions and reactions will become easy to perform because we keep feeding it. The hardest thing to do here, ladies and gentlemen, is to keep feeding it. Keep feeding the mind with what you want, not what you don't want. Pay attention to your thoughts. If you're negative, pay attention to that. Reframe it with a positive. Thus, a new and good habit is born. For when an act becomes easy through constant repetition, it becomes a pleasure to perform it. And if it's a pleasure, then it is your nature to perform it often. When I perform it often, it becomes a what? A habit. Right on. All right. Today I begin a new life. We're going to read through this. I'm going to go page by page or thought by thought through this, and then we'll be going to the next scroll to when we get together on Monday. And I make a solemn oath. To who? To myself. Because that's integrity. When you make an oath to yourself and you keep it, then you love yourself. And I know from coaching leaders, executives, and salespeople and life coaching at my church, the reality is if somebody doesn't love themselves, they're not going to have results. We need to love ourselves first, make promises that I can keep and love myself in the journey. I make a solemn oath that nothing will retard my new life's growth. I will not lose a day from these readings, for that day can't be retrieved. Once it's gone, it's gone. Nor can I substitute another for it. I must not, I will not break this habit. That's how we have to feel. I won't break it. And it's daily. And in truth, the few moments spent each day on this new habit are but a small price to pay for the happiness and success that will be mine. Listen to those two words, happiness and success. As I reread and read the scrolls, I never will I allow each scroll to just bore me or be not powerful to me. That's what that's saying. I want to read each word and don't take it lightly. Thousands of grapes are pressed to fill one jar with wine, and the grape skin and pulp are tossed to the birds. So it is with these grapes of wisdom. Much has been filtered and tossed to the wind. Only the pure truth lies distilled in the words to come. I will drink as instructed and spill not one drop, in the seed of success I will swallow. Today, my old skin has become as dust. I will walk tall among men and know, and they will know me not, for today I'm a new man with a new life. People are going to see you after you've done these scrolls, and they're not going to recognize you. Your whole countenance will be better. Man, I'm telling you, we're on a magnificent journey. I'm so proud to have you along. God bless you. Take care, and we'll talk to you soon. We'll talk to you actually so soon. It's going to be Monday. We're going to go into the next scroll. Bless you, friends. Talk to you.